Good morning. The next lecture from this chapter is conditions for minima and maxima without any proof. We know whenever we study any science, math is required. Even you go to life sciences, math is essential to study life sciences also. It is invariable part of every science. We may need mathematics in various subjects for various purposes. Math is backbone of physics. It is said that math is language of physics. When we talk of physics, when we talk of various principles, laws of physics, we need math. Without mathematics, the explanation will be incomplete. And so, it is the backbone or language of physics. Here we are going to talk about the conditions for maxima and minima. While talking about various functions in physics, we may need to know the value of maximum of a function. We may need to know the value of minimum of a function. And certain conditions should be prevailing there for maxima and minima. For our syllabus, the proof is not recommended. Without proof, in short, I will explain what are the conditions for maxima and minima of a function. We can have various types of functions. Here, for simplicity, let me consider a function f of x, one dimensional function. A function f of x, one dimensional function. This function may have a maximum value. This function may have a minimum value. The maximum value of a function is known as maxima of that function. The minimum value of a function is known as minima of that function. We wanted to know what are the conditions for the maxima and minima of a function. Roughly, I may say that the maxima or maximum value of a function is that value. The maxima or maximum value of a function is that value which is preceded or followed, by a decay or decrease. Whenever a value is showing decrease in its value, when we going backward or forward, that is, whenever a function shows a decrease if we proceed, a decrease if we proceed. So, if a function has a value such that its preceding value will be minimum, preceding value will be go on decreasing, and the following value will also be go on decreasing. That particular value of the function is known as the maximum value of the function or maxima of the function. If we move earlier to that value of the function, we will see decrease in the value of the function. If we move forward to that value of the function, we will see again decrease in the value of the function. That value which shows decrease earlier as well as decrease later on, that value, that particular value is known as maxima of a function. What about minima? If we move from minima either in the backward direction or in the forward direction, the function must show increase in its value. So, it is minima or minimum value of a function is that value of a function such that if we proceed, go backward, we find increase in the value of the function. If we move forward, we find increase in the value of the function. So, such a value of a function, if we move this way, we will find increase in the function, increase in the value of the function. If we move this way, either you move backward or you may move forward, you will find increase in value of the function. If we have such a value of a function, that value is known as minimum value of a function or minima of a function. There may be different ways for getting the maxima and or minima of a function. One of them which is popular is Newton-Raphson method. One of the popular methods is Newton-Raphson method. Actually, Newton-Raphson method is used to find roots of equations. Newton-Raphson method is used to find solutions of equations, zeros of equations. This method can be comparatively used to decide the minima or maxima of a function. The formula used for this purpose is generally x1 is equal to x0 minus f dash of x divided by f double dash of x. Provided that fx should be continuous, its first derivative f dash of x, its first derivative, it should be continuous. F double dash of x, second derivative of f of x, it should be continuous. If f of x is continuous, f dash of x is continuous, f double dash of x is also continuous, we can use this formula. This is formula due to Newton-Raphson. Here we assume that this x0 is the required minimum or maximum value of the given function f of x. X0 is the required value of minima or maxima of the function. Further, we assume that this x0 is not correct. It is not 100% correct. It is not the accurate value. there is some error. To decrease this error, we shall go for x1. x1 will be the more correct value for maxima or minima of the function than x0, and this x1 is given by x1 is equal to x0 minus f dash of x divided by f double dash of x. x0 is found, and after finding this x0, sequence of values such as x1, x2, x0 we got here as the approximate value for the maxima or minima of the given function. We will find more correct value using equation x1. Then you can go to x2. x2 is equal to x1 minus f dash of x divided by f double dash of x. x2, x3, x4, x5, x6, x7, x8. The calculation will be continued. You may call this as iterative calculations. This iterative calculation is continued till you get certain very correct approximation xn for the minima or maxima of the function. This xn will be correct value of the minima or maxima of the function, provided that error in this function, error in this value of minima or maxima of the function is smaller than the error allowed, and then we can say that this xn is the correct value for minima of the given function or for maxima of the given function. Let me show you diagrammatically the meaning of maxima and minima. For simplicity, I am using a sine function. Come here. Go in the backward direction. What you find? There is decrease in the value. Go in the forward direction. What you find? There is again decrease in the value of the function. What is this function? This is a sine function. And this value is that particular value. If you move backward, there is decrease in value of the function. If you move forward, there is decrease in value of the function, and therefore this should be maxima of this given function. Instead, you may come here. Now, you may go in the backward direction or you may go in the forward direction. When you move to the backward direction, what you find? There is increase in the value of the function. If you move in the forward direction, what you find? Again you find there is increase in the value of the function. So, from this value of the function, if we move backward or forward, there is increase in value of the function. Okay, so such value of a function is known as maxima, and such value of a function is known as minima. When a change is taking place from negative to positive, when a change is taking from negative to positive, when a change is taken from positive to negative, how to decide the maxima and minima? How to decide the maxima and minima? If a function is going from minimum smaller value to a larger value, okay, this is a function, okay, and if you move to this side or this side, the value of the function is decreasing. As the value of the function is decreasing, f is maximum. If you go in any direction, what you find? Decrease. You will find decrease. And here it is minimum. If you go in this direction or in this direction, what you find? Increase is there. And therefore, if you find a change from negative to positive, that is corresponding to minima. And if you find a change from positive to negative, that will be maxima. This is a maxima. If you go to this side or this side, what you find? Decrease. Positive corresponding to more, negative corresponding to small. So there is a change of sign from negative to positive. If such thing is happening, that is corresponding to minima. If there is a change from positive to negative, that point corresponding to minima. This is maxima. If you go in this direction, there is a decrease, negative change. If you go in this direction, there is decrease, negative change corresponding to this. So this is maxima. Come here, go in this direction. The sign is changing from minus to plus. Go in this direction from this. The sign is changing from minus to plus. This point is corresponding to minima. So whenever the change in any function is taking from negative to positive, that point is corresponding to minima of the function, and whenever the change is taking place from positive to negative, that point is corresponding to maxima of the function. This is about the conditions for maxima and minima of a function. A small article and very simple. Hope you got it. Thank you.